This is DJJohnny at JDMFM, and today I'm back at Quay, continuing my history of this very important part of the town of Warrington. This is the 6th video in the series. I've been covering all the way around the Mersey, all the way around all the industry and everything else, and this is the final one. Probably the most important one where people really recognise the name Quay, which is due to the railway and the railway station. So in this video I'm going to be covering the railways and also a few other stories and a little aspect of some of the wire making in this area, which Warrington was once famous for. Let's go and have a look at it. So this is the Quay railway station, which was opened on the 16th of November 1868. It's actually on the West Coast main line, going from Scotland in that direction all the way to London in that direction. It's opposite a hotel, the Patten Arms Hotel. But this station and this hotel isn't the original location. Let's go and have a look at where it used to be. And this is where the original Quay station used to be, and also the Patten Arms, right next to this bridge, which is on the Quay road bridge. It's also about 200 yards from the new Quay station. It was built in 1837, some 31 years before the one down the road, on the Grand Junction Railway, which of course is now the West Coast main line. So, as you can see from the aerial view of the picture, how dismal and dark the old Quay station and the Patten Arms used to be. In the picture, the Quay station has actually been demolished already, and all that was left was the Patten Arms. The Patten Arms were used for offices for a time until they were eventually demolished. The whole area here was full of sidings for industry and everything. There was just so much rail traffic at that time. It must have been a really incredibly noisy place. But why did the station move down the road 200 metres? Well, lots of politics took place in those days, with the London North Western Region Railway here, which is going now the West Coast line, and also the St Helens Canal and Railway Company and the Warrington and Stockport Company. And eventually it all became the LNWR, and they decided in the wisdom to move the station to make it an intersection point, which makes sense, so passengers could get on the West Coast, either going north to south, or they could even go west to east. Amazing. The Patten Arms were used for offices for a time until they were eventually demolished. Well, the whole area here was full of sidings for the industry around the area. So I've just come up these steps here. The station is over there and the Patten Arms over the way, and I've climbed up these steps and come across to this bridge which goes over the old low-level line, which is just down there. There actually used to be a station down there, and also before this station was built, it was actually a tunnel going under the London and North Western Railway line, which of course is now the West Coast line. When the station was built in 1868, it was designed so it could link the two platforms together, the upper level up there and the lower level down there. So I'm just above the low level line, which was going down below here, and you can see where the station used to be below me. The line itself opened in 1854 and continued along from Garston docks all the way through to Stockport and then to Manchester. There are other stations en route. There's Arpley Station and Wilderspool Station, which have all now disappeared, and perhaps the title of other videos in the future. The line itself was used quite a lot at the beginning, but as time's moved on, there's other lines have opened, passengers stopped using it, and therefore sadly in 1965 the station below closed down for good, and now there's no evidence of it whatsoever. The line, however, did continue for freight, and that continued and does still continue today, but not very much traffic uses it. Since the viaduct over the Manchester Ship Canal at Latchford has also ceased to be used, freight traffic has also stopped going over there and now terminates at Arpley Sidings, which is behind me, and then is moved on then to the west coast or other lines on their journey. And on Saturday, the 27th of August, 1910, one of the most notorious killers of the 20th century was here at Quay Station. His name was Crippen. Crippen was a murderer. He'd just killed his wife in London and dismembered her body, and then escaped with his girlfriend Ethel all the way to America. On the way, on the boat, he was the first person to be arrested using Marconi's new radio and brought back by the police. When he got back to Liverpool, he came back to Quay Station here, right here, waiting for the London train, which goes down there. While he was waiting, he decided to make an escape bid, and he jumped across the lines and ran across over there towards the glassworks. Mersey Glassworks. When he got there, he hid in one of the furnaces that was there. Unfortunately, there was only one way in and one way out. And when the police, who were following closely behind him, caught him, he was captured again, brought back to Quay Station and put on the train all the way to London to await his court case and then later execution. That was a very close link to Quay Station. The funny thing is that when he actually went away, when he escaped, he went under the pseudonym of Robinson and Son. He was dressed as a father, and the girlfriend was dressed as his son. The bizarre thing is that the furnace where he was caught and the glassworks was called Robinson and Sons. Blinking heck! So I'm back now at Quay Fold. Now I came to Quay Fold in my second video of the area when we also discussed about the pink eye, which is just up there. I'm on Litton's Crossing. What's Litton's Crossing? Well, Litton, of course, was the flour mills, which was here, and this is a crossing across the railway line to there. We've got Garston docks, used to be originally in that direction, and of course Manchester originally in that direction, although trains no longer go that way. They can't go past the viaduct at Latchford since 1985 when it was all closed down. But what's really interesting about this place is just down there to the east of Litton Crossing is White Cross Railway Station. White Cross Railway Station? Never heard of it. Well, actually there's no evidence of it left whatsoever, but it did used to be here. It used to be a temporary railway station for the St Helens Canal and Railway Company, where their trains terminated here because they couldn't go any further until they'd built a tunnel underneath the London and North Western Railway line around where Quay Station is now. Amazing. And sadly, with all the industry now disappearing, in particular Fiddler's Ferry Power Station, there's not very many trains come down here anymore. So I don't know what the future of this line really holds. We'll have to wait and see. So I'm just a bit further up the line, behind PQ Corporation, which is just over here, and you can see the tunnel which is going underneath the Quay station. So this is the lower level line, the lower line going on its way originally towards Manchester, but of course it doesn't go there anymore. But also along here, in this whole area now, of course it's all changed, but there used to be lots of sidings along here so that the factories, including Crossfields as was, and Levers, British Aluminium, and maybe even the Quay foundry, used to be able to get the raw products by rail instead of on the river, and they could offload the raw products and then put the new products on there and deliver them across the world. Amazing! This is the new Pattern Arms, which was also built in 1868 at the same time as Quay railway station, which is just over there. It's the hotel, of course, which is linked to the station, as many hotels were built in those days. The landlord of the old Pattern Arms came here and bought a piece of land from Lord Winmarler, who we've come across before with Bank Hall, and he bought the plot of land and built a new Pattern Arms, a far more luxurious Pattern Arms with ornate building structure. And it's here at the Pattern Arms that John Prescott, who used to be the Deputy Prime Minister under Tony Blair's government, used to work. He worked here in 1959 in between jobs when he worked for the Merchant Navy, and proposed to Pauline, his wife, when they were on a train coming to this place to celebrate their engagement. A lovely story. So, I've come across the road from Quay at a place called White Cross. It's not far away, it's just on the edge of it. And you can see Quay Bridge is just over there. That's Quay Road Bridge, and the very old Quay railway station used to be just below there. And I've come across the road to a place called Milner Street. Very quiet street now, where the post office is, where the main post office warrants is there. It used to be B&Q over there, it's now changed to Selco. And I've come here for a reason. This site here used to have a huge wireworks. It was called the White Cross Wireworks, and it was opened in 1864 by Frederick Monks. Frederick Monks, you'll remember on one of my previous videos when we spoke about Monks Hall. Well, this is the same guy. He left Rylands and he came to this place here to set up a purpose-built wire factory. Warrington is absolutely renowned for wire, or it certainly was in the 1800s. There was lots and lots of factories here. There was Lockers, there was Greenings, there was Rylands, and lots of others. And I will do another video about that area on another occasion. But today, this is the White Cross Wire Factory, which used to be here. It was a huge factory on both sides of the road. Let's have a look at what it used to look like. So as you can see from the picture, it was a huge factory in this area. Sadly, in the late 1970s, early 80s, this building and all its factory closed down for good, which was sad for the workforce, of course, but good for the environment because it did pollute the atmosphere incredibly. And the building behind me, just on the corner of Milner Street and Liverpool Road, used to be Harry Gardner's newsagent shop, and before that it was his father's newsagent shop. So it's been here for many years, and in fact it's the only building left of a terrace of houses which is built to house some of the workers from the White Cross factory. Interestingly enough, a friend of mine, Pamela Ramsdale, used to live here and has kindly sent me a photograph of what it used to look like. In the 1800s and 1900s, this place would have been awful to live in, I'm sure. The smoke, the stench from all the factories around, all the plants going through, the noise from the railway shunting yards and everything else. I think we live in a far better place, although I've got to say, it's quite noisy today. Jeepers creepers. So I've come back full circle onto the banks of the River Mersey with the transporter bridge behind me. We've covered in this video the Quay railway station where it used to be and where it is now, as well as the Pattern Arms. We've also looked at the railway systems in the area and also the sidings which used to help and support all the factories in this area. Jeepers creepers, it's been quite a journey. We've also looked at the little brief part of the wire works and the wire industry that is very important, or was very important, in the Warrington area. So that was last video in my Quay series. Jeepers! Can't believe how long it's taken. We've covered quite a big area. We started at the pink eye up there. We looked at the Pattern family and the copper works. We also looked at Bank Hall, which is now the Town Hall. We came through, we looked at the flower industry and the glass industry. We looked a little bit at the cotton industry that was there. We looked at the pottery works. We looked at the soap making companies, which are still here at the moment, but they're now chemicals. We looked at the iron foundry and the other iron companies associated with it. And we also looked at British Aluminium, which is just over there. We also looked at now the railway system around here, how that's changed, where they used to use the River Mersey for transportation and then they moved to the railways. Of course now the railways are going down for freight and it's now more on road freight. But railways are certainly still there and a very important part of today's working life. Quay is an amazing area, a fascinating place, and the history has been astonishing. I'm amazed how much I've learned by looking at this little area. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd also like to thank all the people who have helped me in the research for these videos. It's been no mean task. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much indeed. I do lots of other videos of the areas, and you can find all my videos on YouTube on my channel, which is DJJohnny at JDMFM, and also my Facebook channel of the same name. And you're welcome to join there and subscribe, and then you get notifications when any more videos come out. I'm looking now at Pastures New, and if anybody has got any suggestions of other areas, then they're more than welcome. Please let me know. Anyway, for the time being, this is DJJohnny at JDMFM, and whatever you're doing, hope you have a fabulous time, and see you again very soon. Bye.